YouTube side of the stream's a little bit more pernickety. There we go. Looks like we're saved on Team YouTube as well. Nice. You lot back in the right place. And we go again. Let's see if that works. My graphics card seems to just, well, I mean, this is, you lot should be semi-used to this by now. I can't seem to, I think I just didn't win the silicon lottery with my graphics card. I think it's just, a little bit sensitive. Sometimes it has a moment. And let's be honest, running 5 accounts of WoW and streaming to 2 platforms at once, I'm kind of asking quite a lot from it. I've no idea what I was saying though. That's no idea what I was chatting about. Oh yeah, something about Craft Sim. Yeah, Craft Sim's had a few cheeky updates recently, which have been quite good. I'm sure that I'm sure it would be much easier to do updates for Craft Sim if even the default UI wasn't so buggy. On that note, I just remembered I should probably update my add-ons too. Oh no. My goal total's all funky donkey. Gone all horribly wrong. Okay, that doesn't look quite as neat and as tidy as it was before. I'll fix that later. I wonder what other parts of my UI are now broken on the stream. Everything else looks fine. I'm having problems with conch saving. It shows the wrong concentration on my alts. Okay. Oh, hello, sales. A few backpacks, a few skinning knives. What? What the Christ is this? What the hell is Kragok Launcher Core? Currently supported add-ons. ACA almost completed achievements. Oh. I fucking wish people wouldn't do this with their add-ons, you know? I wish people wouldn't do this with their add-ons. Start randomly changing the names of their add-ons. Like, when I see something like this in my... Wait, how's that worked then? Because almost completed achievements is its own separate thing. I never installed this. If this optional dependency is not installed, my add-ons will still load independently. With this installed, they will collapse into a single minimap button and settings listings. No. No. Just no. See you later. No. And delete. Just no. I'm not having any of that shenanigans. I refuse. Out of principle. Starts to feel a little bit shifty. Starts to feel a little bit like Norton Antivirus trying to install McAfee there. You can fuck right off. Arcane Fish, 750 gold. I need to stop going anywhere near the auction house while I'm streaming. Genuinely, like, I am going to 110% stop going anywhere near the auction. Like, just not. Just not. It's the same as when you see fishy names when you check your currently running applications in Windows. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And you end up Googling, is XYZ safe? Yeah. Yeah. Some random add-on that I probably installed to use once for the author to start forcing multiple dependencies on. No, 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 no. See you later. Delete the lot. Starting to be at the range where you don't even want to kill it solo. Well, we were talking about this earlier. That like even running my 4-man team, killing the kitty cat, I only win if I get a hide. If I don't get a hide on any of the 4 teams, which is entirely possible because it's only about a 20% drop chance. If I don't get a hide, I lose gold. And even if I get a hide, if you're trying to charge, what is it, 7? Yeah, you can't be dropping 8k on the lure. That doesn't work. But the funny thing is like they'll still sell because people love a gamble. People love a gamble. But yeah, I need to stop going anywhere near anything that could give one of you guys a funky idea. It's really not the it's not the look I'm going for. Now, I'm not saying it's one of you guys, but it's a bit fishy, unintended. 5 minutes after we look at the price of the lures, fish gets reset. I wonder what realm's the biggest in the EU at the moment. This discussion comes up regularly, and it is more dependent on what you consider to be the biggest. Because, you know, different metrics point to different things. But I actually think Silvermoon is probably the largest population server. You go by pure player count. Nothing really super interesting to report on any of these realms in terms of sales. But it's just still worth keeping it ticking over. I'm clearly running so very short on Decor that I'm just not getting very many Decor sales. But, you know, if you don't have something to sell, then you can't expect to sell nothing. I'm even starting to run pretty low on profession tools and stuff on any of these realms. It's really only this one account in the top left here that gets any sizable sales at the moment, because it's the only one that's got any sizable amount of stock still. But, you know, it's lots of small numbers adding up to be bigger numbers. What's the gold total looking at? 37.7 mil. Done the best part of 1 million gold in sales just overnight still. Just from odds and ends. In terms of the number of auctions, it tends to be the biggest as well for Silvermoon, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was always the biggest Alliance server. But in the last few years, it seems to be a bit of a trend that Alliance is clawing back their supremacy. Kazakh, Taran Mill, Draenor, still pretty heavy on the Horde side population-wise, I think. But it's the Horde is kind of spread out across the three a little bit, whereas the Alliance tends to have mostly merged into Silvermoon, it feels. Is that the number? Is that number the total you've made so far? No, 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 no. That not so far this expansion. No, I'm actually in the. I'm still in the red for the expansion as a whole. I think I started. I put it there just because it's a nice, interesting number to look at in a way, but it's liquid gold is not really a great reflection of like overall. I mean, I guess the similarities are similar IRL, isn't it? You know, somebody's wealth can be considerable. You know, if you just consider the amount of cash in the bank, that can be very different. I think I went into the expansion with about 41, 42 million gold in like actual liquid gold. So by that logic, I'm about 5k in the hole. But I easily have 10 million gold worth of investments that I haven't sold yet. Plus my, you know, my inventory on my flipping realms is much larger than it was going into the expansion. So, you know, it's only a matter of time till that all sells. Plus I've got 80 more characters on the roster that all have 50 to 100,000 gold attached to them. Yeah, so It's difficult. If you live in just purely the world of farming and don't do anything else, your liquid gold can be quite a good, indicator of how much you're making at any one point, and you just watch the graph go up and you see where the stairs are in the graph and whatever. But when you do farming, crafting, flipping, the whole shebang, investing, when you do a little bit of everything, your actual liquid gold can go up and down like a yo-yo. And you only actually watch the graph go up when you just stop buying anything and just purely liquidate, which isn't something that you tend to do very often. So I don't really worry too much what the liquid number does. And in fact, there's I've never really properly reached this point, but I know it sort of secondhand from similar players that you actually get to the point with gold making that you try your best to spend as much gold as you possibly can, because the quicker you spend it, the more things you have to sell.
Is that your wallet?
And
You just glad to
the
see
more
me.
ways in which you can
Both, I hope.
Eventually profit from it. That spending is a big part of making. Yo, Ross with the 2 months. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Many thanks for that one. Oh, did I do the cancel scan? Or have I done everything on these set of characters? I'm losing track of what I'm doing here. Yeah, I've done everything on these dudes. Log them out. Did I log the same team in twice or something here? Done something stupid. I've sold about 3 pieces of decor across 3 realms since Midnight's launch. I've sold a reasonable amount of decor, I think. I don't have a huge stock of it at the moment, though. I certainly don't have much of anything at, like, any sizable value. And a few people I know that were also pretty heavy into the decor market have also been noticing that their sales were a bit quieter. Decor was and still will be, in my opinion, the best gold maker of the expansion. It's just right here, right now. The kind of players that are attracted to decor and player housing are also very much attracted and distracted by all of the new stuff that's going on, right? Yes, it's easy to sort of stereotype and categorize people who play with player housing as the more casual of the player base. But right now, it's like casual Christmas. You've got 4 brand new zones, 10 more levels, so many pets, mounts, toys. Like, it's just casual Christmas right now. Expansion launch is the best time you can ever have for, like, that sort of stuff. Since December, the more casual players have had time to tinker with their housing. And so, as of right now, I'm not too surprised it's a bit quieter. But it'll be one of those things that when everything that's crazy now dies down, player housing will just keep performing, right? Decor will just keep performing. And it's not going anywhere. It's Blizzard's new baby, and they are going to force it down our throats, whether we like it or not, the entire expansion. But there's just so many distractions right now. I'm not really that surprised it's quite quiet. Or quieter, I should say. I've still been stocking. My sales are about 25% of what they were prior to midnight across all realms. Taking that from you means a lot. because you're very good at tracking this sort of stuff. I go by feels most of the time. Still moving faster than pets. Pets is going to be an interesting one long term with the changes they made in Midnight to pets. The fact that you no longer like proactively catch them. I'm right in saying, do we even have pet world quests anymore? I'm not even sure we do we? There's a family battler, but they've put it on some sort of filthy cooldown or something. It's really taken a bit of a back seat, even more so than it already was, which might have a bit of a long-term effect on pet sales generally. People will still buy them from the collections perspective. Yeah, you're not even battling the new ones. You literally just throw a cage at them. GG, well played. It's kind of it feels very much like it feels very much like it was an easy thing to cut when things needed to get cut. Several of the housing casuals in my guild have spent all their gold on Decor. Oh yeah. Yeah. the amount that people like will spend on Decor will be absolutely ludicrous. Not to mention, there will barely be a month that in fact, I guarantee there will not be a month that goes past that Blizzard won't put something in the store. So there's just, it's going to be, like I said, they're going to force player housing on us from every angle. Or at least the entirety of Midnight, if not forever and a day. 117k, go on. Leatherworking schmucks, pickaxes. Yeah, literally everything I am actually selling is still profession tools. The occasional odd thing somewhere else. A scrap coil chainmail. That's flipping 11.2 mog, maybe? Don't even know why it's on the auction house, to be honest. Yeah, 90% of what's listing right now is not really worth listing, but you still get that occasional mega sale, which makes it all worthwhile. Captured June Scavenger I sold for about 600k about a week ago was kind of a fun one to catch. I also sold, what was the other big thing I sold recently? T-Boos. I think I sold a T-Boos for like 600k as well. T-Boos or a Bulwark Shield? I don't know. Some big S-tier mog item. So those occasional wonder sales still makes it worthwhile spending the time to keep all of this stuff at least listed. Spent over 100k on just one of my homes. I mean, take a look at the price of some of the decor in the auction house. You could spend 100k on a single item. Never mind an entire house. You're probably playing it like Zlatan buying from IKEA. For those who get the meme. There are players out there that are probably spending millions on their houses. Quite literally millions. One we're housing is WoW missing one important feature for RP in modern times: voiceover infrastructure. You mean like sort of proximity chat? You could see neighborhoods enabling or having the option for proximity chat within a neighborhood. I don't think you'd ever see World of Warcraft implementing anything like that generally, because it's far too open for abuse. But in a closed wall environment, such as a neighborhood, I could see proximity chat being quite interesting. And you're right, the RP aspect would flip and explode, wouldn't it? Get real seedy real fast, though. Can you imagine? This is one thing I worry about Blizzard trying to like churn out content as fast as they do now. Is that I do wonder where the room for creativity is when they are clearly permanently working to a deadline. Like, you know, they release something and then in 8 weeks' time something's coming out again. Like they're always on deadline mode. It leads me to wonder where they find the time to be creative. Because creativity takes time. It requires you to know you got to be, the pressure's got to be off at least for a little bit to be creative, right? Breathe a little, to maybe sort of, you know, give a few people the opportunity to put something slightly more creative together. A bit of a passion project on the side. It must be hard to even consider a passion project when you are just being blasted new content, new content, new content, new content. I don't know. Only in guilds, private hoods where you can kick a person out. Yeah, like I said, within a, should we say, a safe space, to use the phrase, which I always think is a bit weird. You hang around in public, you should expect to be in public. Yeah, within like a guild, you could certainly see some sort of proximity chat or voice chat within neighborhoods or something. It would devolve into Sims style content real fast then, wouldn't it? Kind of silly that Blizz hasn't tried to enter that market, seeing how GTA 5 exploded. But yeah, GTA 5 RP was like, it's not my thing, not in any way, shape, or form, but I see the appeal of it, and yeah, it was definitely a phenomenon. The 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 difference would be is that GTA was very much more open world. As weird as it seems to say, World of Warcraft and Azeroth in general is nowhere near as open world as something like GTA. So much so that I really struggled to consider World of Warcraft an RPG most of the time. Classic is still very much that your player goes on a journey. But for years, I've kind of nicknamed retail to be like arcade mode WoW, where you can very much dip in, blast it, dip out, without any real ties or commitment. You can obviously tie yourself down and commit yourself pretty heavily if you want to, but that's not really where the game excels these days. The more RPG experience is clearly had in the classic versions of the game, which I think is why the lust for Classic Plus is so high, because they want something that has that old school WoW vibe to it, but isn't a completely 100% min-maxed, figured out game, and just a, you know, copy paste of an expansion that was. One of these factors at the moment is that communities have moved mostly towards Discord for communication. Yeah, true. But, oh, that, shouldn't stop them. Sit outside by the window listening on conversations. I told you it'd get a bit weird pretty quick. I need to decide if, with it being the weekend, rolling up to the weekend, I need to decide if it's worth maybe dropping 5 mil on doing a restock on profession gear. It more depends on how much I'm planning on actually playing over the weekend. Because if I do that, I'm going to need to up my tension on it. Or whether I just keep building the skinning team. Hold up, Honor has a currency transfer fee. How many other currencies have a fee? Usually, okay, I don't think this is a rule, but generalized. I think anything that has any sort of player power, if it can be transferred at all, is usually subject to a bit of a tax. Currencies that are not linked in any way, shape, or form to player power and are like just cosmetic currencies usually can be transferred freely. But I didn't even know Honor could be transferred full stop, so that's news to me. You have endless alts. Endless alts is probably the highest gold per hour at the moment. Majestic's kind of wild right now. I kind of agree. The basic setup though is not super worth it. You kind of need to go full build. You need 80 out of 80 knowledge points really to make it lucrative. That's where you can kill 3 majestic creatures a day, all with a high chance of multiple drops. That's where RNG plays into your favor. Those 4x hide procs occasionally are what you're shooting for. Basic 20 points. The basic 20 knowledge point builds kind of quite difficult to even make those profitable right now. Skinning because of the price of the lures. And the basic 20-point build only really gives you access to the putty cat. Unless you camp the character and wait for somebody else to put the lures down in the other spots, which will heavily dig into the time it takes you to do each character. Definitely running out of stock on a lot of these realms. Opening mailboxes and there basically being nothing in them. Don't really bother with PvP. Was just looking to craft PvP legs since I got the recipe for an order. Turns out one of the reagents costs honor. The gem thing, yeah. You can buy those off the auction house though. Heliotrope or whatever it's called. If one honor is 1 gold, where would you farm 100k honor in an hour? Yeah. Yeah, you're probably not going to beat just semi-optimized solo mining right now for just like raw single account gold. What did we end on then? 37.9. Oof, nearly 80 mil. Did I say nearly 80 mil? That's not right. Oh, there we go. We have actually crossed 38 mil. Boom. I'll tell you what I do need to do actually, which is to just do some of the weekly stuff on my main crafters. 3 more mil, no longer in the red. Yeah. Don't know where that extra 3 mil's coming from though. Unless I start selling off some of my investment stuff. Oh god, I've just vaguely remembered about those flipping dawn crystals. Am I going to use the old army for much more today? I don't think I am, no. Let's log these accounts off for now. Done me skinning. Let's have a look, see what I have and haven't done for the week. If I can get the chores out the way before the weekend, then we got the weekend and Monday, Tuesday just to play. Should have a new round of patron orders. Some knowledge points and stuff. Have a little looky. Need the moxie. Not paying that much for anything. Imagine a WoW where the first 4 days of the week weren't spent doing chores. Well, this is also partly why I'm not too concerned about putting mass crafting on the back foot a little bit. The chore list that comes along with it is just overbearing. Oh, hello. Sold some stuff. I need 1 more treasure with jewel crafting. Why did I go out picking up treasures and stop when I only had 1 left? That seems like a moron kind of move. Maybe I picked those up accidentally doing something else and didn't even realise. Let's blame it on that, shall we? Damn. Damn strawberry jam. Not paying those prices. Oh, you want that, but you want that. I'm not spending 300 concentration on 2 knowledge points. You can get bent. Okay. Yeah, there might actually not be too much to do on this dude. In a nice kind of way. Oh my god, 1,300 jewel crafters Moxie. Why have I got so much Moxie and why have I not spent it on anything? Jewel crafters Moxie bags are probably money right now, aren't they? Though I should probably spend that on other stuff first. What do you have to sell me?
Sunwell's glory shine on you.
$15k a bag. Not that bothered then.
A new Vala Balorialan.
I just can't sit with this much Moxie doing nothing. Even if I buy Decor recipes with it, I need to spend it. Where do you spend Moxie? Lower worship band. 1,500 Marl. I don't really want to spend my Voidlight Marl. I'm using that pretty aggressively on my skinning army. So I'd rather not. That, like, 1,500 Marl is like 2 skinners. That's going to be the problem. Oh, okay. Minus. Well, we can just go by that. Let's just do that. Signet of Azerothian Blessings. From the dude in Harran. I mean, the reality is I'm going to attempt to achieve every single recipe on these characters at some point anyway. But there is a bit of a priority listing on them. How does the skinning use Voidlight Marl? It's for the Renown book. 750 of it for the Renown book per character. Annoyingly, I only need 1 point from the book. Next week I won't need the books at all though. So I'll be able to avoid using them. But who knows what the market will look like in a week. Yoink.
Speak swiftly.
Oh. Wait, what? What was I looking for here? Is it not from you? What was I even looking for? Signet of Azerothian Blessings. This costs flipping 1,500 Marl in all. Oh, I don't want to be spending any of these right now. I need all of the Marl I can get. Okay. My choice to buy these recipes just because I can't stand having this much Moxie lying around is not going to work, is it? When I actually need... Yeah, that's not going to work. Alright, sure. Let's grab the last one treasure. Grab the last one treasure. Actually, you know what we do while we're doing that? Dream Rift. Queue for the Dream Rift while we do this. Hunt treasures. Zulaman's arguably the best place for treasures, but we're here now. What's your take on decor recipes being BOE? I wonder if people actually managed to sell them on the auction house. Oh, I bet they did. There's a common, or maybe not so common, I don't know how common it is, but like, I live by the theory that if you can buy it with gold, you probably should. Because there's 101 different ways to make gold, but a premium currency will almost always be at a premium. So for those decor recipes that were like ended up being BOE recipes, I think you'll find that they probably sell pretty well, because there'll be other people that think the same as me. They'd rather keep the premium currency and just spend the gold, because they can always make more gold. Well, heck, you can even buy more gold. What the hell's this?
They met no welcome, only fangs and fury, as creatures struck with deliberate, unseen intent.
It's a world quest or something.
Was joined hoof and claw against vine and thorn, but in that frenzy, they teetered on the abyss of madness.
God, I wish Bartender would hurry up and get an update. Bartender errors are hurting my brain. One more. What are you? I've not done this before. I mean, I've barely stepped foot outside the city, unless it's to kill a majestic beast, so it's probably not that surprising I've not done this before, but...
Thus, the hunted became the hunter, drawn to the silent cave where truth lay hidden.
Guess I'm meant to avoid you. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know what's going on here. Okay. Don't know how I'm meant to get through there otherwise. Your pet is dead? Wake up. Oh shit, this dude's an elite. I didn't even realise. My gear's still tragic, by the way. I might be level 90, but my gear is absolutely tragic, so don't judge. I don't know what I'm doing in here, and I seem to be pulling more than I'm killing. This wasn't my plan. I was looking for treasures and got distracted by another squirrel. I need treasures and I need dun-duns. Oh yeah, I've just realised I haven't done a single abundance one this week. Not an abundance one that matters. Can't be messing around killing random ass elites. Sack this off. Do this another time. Oh, just kill it. Come back another day to whatever's going on here. Take some wood. Don't mind if I do. I still don't think I've got the 250 lumber achievement to pick it up whilst mounted. I mean, I definitely haven't. I'm just kind of surprised I haven't. Who's been farming lumber in midnight, by the way? From everything I've seen, there's just a lot less. I don't know if there's just a lot less of it, or if because there's so many people playing out in the world, there is just technically less spawns. There definitely feels like there's less of it than there is in other zones. Way too much content to be playing with lumber farming right now. I just don't see much of it. That's the main thing. I just genuinely don't see much of it.
These vicious Rutani have overgrown blooming lattice. Prune them back.
I just pick it up if I happen to pass it and no mobs around. I mean, that's kind of the route I'm going with it. At least for now. I haven't even bothered trying to figure out any lumber routes or anything yet. Oh, there we go. Oh, well, that was surprisingly not painful. Now, don't use my Hearthstone yet. We're about to go into lots of lumber in Harrendar, but there's always mobs next to it. Is that the thing? Yeah, let me grab a drink quickly before this. Oh. Oh.
A manifestation grows deep in the rift of Ulm. If it is not stopped soon, it could destroy Harrendar.
Stepped back and kicked the dog. Didn't mean to.
So deep in the rift without risking our end in the madness. But you can. Slay this malformed creature before it threatens lands beyond the rift of Ulm.
Zoom. Killed this boss last week. I can't for the life of me remember what it does. They removed dun-duns from fishing. Not to my knowledge. That said, I haven't tried. Can't see why they would. If anything, they need to incentivize more people to do fishing. Have you seen the damn price of some of those fish? Last time I tried 15 minutes of fishing, no dun-duns. Some people massively overinflated the success rate, I think, of farming dun-duns via fishing. I don't think it ever took me less than half an hour to get all my dun-duns via fishing. So to go 15 minutes and not get any, while it feels a little unlucky, I can still see it being a thing.
Was allowed to grow for too long. The rift has formed it into something terrible. Without a goddess to shape it, it is only torment and rage. It must be stopped.
Right, slay the dragon time. I love how somebody was on their longboy literally until the pool. One account, quality 3, 30 FPS in a raid. I don't like to bang on about the performance of this game, but it genuinely feels so violently under-optimized. I don't know how to, I don't know quite how to explain it. I just fished a dun-dun in Silvermoon. Oh, there we go. There we go. Get your rod out. Clearly you weren't trying hard enough. Alright, you're dead. You're the boss. How can I suppress these errors? My chat log is just like absolutely being obliterated by errors right now. I literally can't see anything else in my chat log. I'm not getting fatalities going off every 10 seconds though, but I'm pretty sure it's bartender that's causing the issue as well. Off chat frame output. It doesn't have a button. I'll do it after. I can kill these now. Bug sack is more annoying than the bug sometimes. Sure, bartender will get an update in the next couple of days. Till then, I'll just have to live with it. I found that Blizzard's new frames were good enough to delete bartender. I would agree with you, other than the fact there's no transparency or opacity options in the default UI. And I wanted my main bars basically hidden. I mean, they're still there at like 10% opacity. I want, but I don't want them to like be big and flashy. Other than that, though, bartender is, my UI is actually incredibly vanilla, excluding that. So it's just my luck. The one add-on I am using for my UI is the one that is flipping busted right now. I don't play the end game anywhere near seriously enough to worry that much about my UI. I was starting to sweat it out. I would care about stuff a little bit more, but not my wheelhouse, really. Blizz frames won't do stuff in the same order as a gaming mouse. It's frustrating as hell and I'm used to it. What? It's the same order as a gaming mouse? I have no idea what you mean. Oh, do you have like a 9-button MMO mouse kind of thing, and you want your bars in like 3 rows of 3 or something? Is that what you're trying to do? Boom, down he goes. Right. Standard need on everything? Standard need on everything. What is this? Two-handed Agi staff. Two-handed Agi staff. Need. For the one time we go,
Thank you, friend.
ah, knows that it's off spec. Stupid game. Right. "12 buttons, 3 across, 4 down in a block." In edit mode, you can right click on the action bar. You can do it in the block, but not in the right order. It goes top to bottom. Bartender is left to right. Okay. I don't totally understand, but I mostly get it. Oh, I got the treasure, didn't I? That means I don't need to be pissing around doing any of this out here now. The main reason we're out here. The fact that I've gained my treasures and I still only have 1 done. Looks like we're gonna play with our rod for a bit then. Looks like we play with the rod. Fish up our dun-duns. Now, where's the expensive fish and how do we get it? if we're gonna go on a fishing journey, I want the expensive shit. I should know this based upon the fact I buy all of the stupid expensive fish, but... Ah, fucking hell. Right, you. How much are you? Arcane wormfish. Hang on, I've got a TSM group for fish here. In fact, not even a TSM group. Reagents. Cooking. Go. Fish. What's the expensive fish? Arcane wormfish. Arcane wormfish. A common fish in Quel'Thalas. We bought and sold on the auction house. Areas you can find this fish: Eversong Woods, Harandar, Bobbling Bloom, Sunwell Swarms, and Blossoming Torrents. We're going to play with our rod for a bit. I thought this is nowhere near a family-friendly stream. I stream at a period of time where all children should be in school or education, so for that, on that basis, we're fine. But outside of that restriction, Bubbling Bloom. Hang on, I'm a single account Andy right now. Give me some flipping pixels. 5,000 euro PC running WoW on quality 3. Doesn't make sense. Right, we need a bunch of dun-duns and a bunch of high-value fish. Done. Literally second cast, by the way, just saying. I'm not sure you need to fish in pools, but... $50 gold for a trout. Add inflation. Oh, what? One fish from a pool. The arcane fish is outside of pools? Oh, okay. Have you got an epic rod? Not in WoW. No, I don't want add-ons just for the sake of fishing. I did actually install a fishing add-on, and it was alright, and it worked, but it just annoyed me. Every expansion I get caught up in just like an add-on for this, an add-on for that, an add-on for this, an add-on for that, and then it takes my game about 12 minutes to load in. So the amount of time I spend fishing, it doesn't matter. One thing I've never understood about fish, is there ever a point where actually throwing the fish back is of any value? I know they give you some buffs and whatever, but the fact that you're literally spending gold by throwing it away, it's like, of all active, like, I don't buff up in a raid. There we go, there's an arcane wormfish. I don't buff up in a raid. Why would I buff up when I do fishing? Oh, cash money. There's 800 gold. Yoink. Perception buff. Not sure it makes sense if you're after the white fish. Oh, exactly, yeah. I kind of want negative perception. I want common fish only, please. I wonder if that's why these things are so goddamn expensive. That the more you try and fish for them, the less of them that you actually get. I remember I only need 6 dun-duns as well. Because you get 2 for free, don't you? There's no point wasting time farming up any more than I absolutely need to. Oh my god, my stomach's rumbling. I really hope you can't hear that on the microphone. Didn't have much breakfast this morning. Went straight to the coffee. Another done. 2 to go. Whoever said you can't get done from fishing? Question is do I go do the done runs now? There's part of me that might queue up all of my 4 main crafters and then just spend 2 hours just blasting done runs to get it all done. So then I don't have to think about it at all for the rest of the week. Even 4 characters, the fact that I've got to spend 2 hours doing done runs makes me feel sick. Off topic, how is the fuel price in Finland? Wouldn't know. We've got an electric car. Wouldn't know. We bought a fully electric car last year. Not looked back. Gone up to £1.50 today. Not sure how much is panic buying and how much is genuine supply issues. Yeah, I actually don't know. On top of the fact that I don't leave the house. So why would I leave the house? It's cold outside. It's cold outside, and when I need something quickly from the store, I can get a little robot to bring it to me. It's wonderful. Best €4 you can possibly spend. Somebody does the shopping for you, puts it in a little robot, and it turns up outside my house and then sings at me to come and pick it up. Fucking wonderful. One more. We get one more wormfish. A couple of 1,000 gold while fishing for dun-duns. Would be nice. I mean, because, you know, money's tight. Every penny counts. There's part of me that does think I should just, like, put an actual conservative effort into, like, pushing 100 mil again. Been a while since I've had that kind of gold. Need to use a toilet seat as a desk chair and you'll never need to move an inch. I'm not that DJ. When I say I never leave the house, I leave the house multiple times a day, but it's usually to walk dogs, not to go do much more than that. Get me exercise in. Get my fresh air. Flipping sun's out today. It's actually beautiful outside. It is on my and it's quite high up on my things I need to buy list. A replacement for this chair. Standard IKEA office. The amount of hours I spend sat down in a chair, it really does make me think that I should have something that's more suitable for the job. Dusk Shroud Stone sold at 7 gold. The fuck is Dusk Shroud Stone doing at 7 gold? And why am I selling it at that price? Somebody just reset the stone market. I said I wasn't going to talk about this, wasn't I? But Somebody's reset the high quality stone market by the looks of things. Oh, come on. Where's this last done? Are you fully financially supported by stream now? Well, this is my full-time endeavor, but the actual like it's difficult to quantify because I have a very good amount of support via Patreon, which is what in essence pays the bills. Twitch, and one of the reasons I don't push like subs or bits or anything too heavily on Twitch is for that reason. Now that doesn't mean I don't, you know, fully appreciate the support I get on Twitch, but I don't stream on Twitch, nor do I make YouTube content with the mindset of I do this to make money, if you see what I mean. I make my guides and people choose to support on Patreon, and that does the job nicely. Like I said, well enough to pay the bills these days. And I can keep the stream and the YouTube stuff a little bit more chill. I'm by certainly no means driving around in a Lamborghini though. But I get to play video games to do it, so, you know, no complaints here. Oh, come on, where's this last done? Everybody still feeling the hype for Augment runes? Not looking great. I think there's a lot of panic setting in. There's a lot of people who are buying them up for the last 2 weeks at like 1,000 gold a piece, and are now starting to get a little bit shaky that they're potentially looking at losing gold with the current prices. And I think as much of it is probably people panicking. There has not been an expansion in the last God knows how many where they didn't dry up and go up. It's a volume thing. There's like 4 times more than there were at the equivalent time in the War Within. Do we think it's got like, what are we saying is the main supply of them in that case? Do we really think there's 4 times as many patron orders being completed? Do we really think that there's going to continue to be 4 times as many patron orders completed? Do we think the super heavy day 1 emphasis on concentration alt armies is produced 2 or 3 times the amount of them than that there would normally be? There's a couple of weekly quests that give you 3 of them for basically nothing.
A poisonous flower is dangerous, no matter
Okay, I mean that probably doesn't help.
poison serves no purpose beyond destruction.
I don't know. There's, like I said, there's never. I can't remember a time where they haven't dried up at least a little bit. But the question is how much of that is goblin do goblin things, you know?
My abundance runneth over.
And Augment runes, remember that tanks and healers will be getting less from goodie bags now that M+ is out. Well, yeah, there'll be a huge shift in the way that people play. Yeah, with Mythic Plus out, nobody in their right mind is going to be running normal dungeons anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I think people are getting a little bit panicky about it. But I mean, there's also the question, then how much do we think, you know, they were being inflated by people practically buying them anytime they went 3 figures, just, you know, for the entire first couple of weeks of the expansion. Do we think that people's estimation on their value was too high? I don't know. I'm happy to speculate on this one at least a little bit because I don't have I don't have nothing in it. I got nothing to gain, nothing to lose on this one personally, but there's still the slight moral aspect of it that any time I talk about anything, it seems to swing the market in one direction or another. Not trying to sound mean, but I can't stand seeing random Russians just decimating every item to crafting cost on the auction house constantly. I mean, that is kind of mean. That is pretty mean, because it's also not really true. Oh shit, I'm capped on abundance. I've been paying zero attention. Remix, lots of casuals have a lot more characters available, 4 times as many. Well, yeah, I mean, I wonder, like, in terms of alts that have been span up for concentration purposes and therefore patron orders by proxy, has got to be significantly higher than what it was at the beginning of the War Within. Because nobody, you know, it took people a couple of weeks to realise that concentration was even worth paying any attention to. There wasn't that many people that were really switched on to it. So, yeah, don't know. 1 down. What do we get from this bag? Veteran's shoulders. Yoink.
Come and be blessed by my abundance.
Remember, the EU have a massive disparity between what minimum wage is, so isn't just Russia where people are happy to make 10k an hour versus 100k an hour. I've always considered this to be one of the major factors to why the EU token price is significantly higher. That there are quite clearly far more places in Europe, yes, where cashing out a few WoW tokens a month and RMTing a few game codes here and there puts food on people's tables. As crazy as that sounds. I mean, it puts food on my table, but you know, I go the more legitimate route. You know, I stream and make content and that sort of stuff. Indirectly. Is it still only 1,000 abundance you need to actually get 900? That is the case, then. This is relatively comfortable solo now. As long as you at least run around and kill a few things.
Your deeds glorify me. You shall be
I love the streamer pause as you read and saw that I mentioned Russia and needed to see if it was stream safe. I have no issues with Russia at all. I don't understand why people do. I also like to keep politics to an absolute bare minimum, so we probably won't dig into that too much.
There is so much waiting to be found.
All made or gathered in Zuluman with pride. You have fine taste, Ashura.
Oh, wait, did I not talk to the rat? Oh, no, I did. Wait, hang on. What's going on? Oh, no, have I ballsed it now? No, there we go. Good friend who's Russian. Unfair to judge a country by the actions of its leaders. Yeah, I mean, America's another one, you know. You can't... just because some of the people running it are just fucking dum-dums. You know. I've got nothing against Americans. Some of them have to be above average in intelligence, surely. Sorry, Team NA. It's easy to poke fun at you these days. It is in jest. Simple mathematics means some of them have to be above average. The average might be lower than some other places. Who's pulling down the average? What idiot's pulling down the average?
Glory be to a bounty so richly abundant.
Yo, treasure app.
Contributions, my acolytes. Revel in this divinely.
God, I want this to be a mount. And I want it to, like, properly glow in the dark as well. I want a glow-in-the-dark rat mount.
Contributions, my acolytes.
Yes.
Revel in this divinely abundant boon. Hurry! Abundance will soon overwhelm your fragile form.
Right, how many is that? 3? Wait, what? Weekly maximum... Oh, weekly maximum of shards of Dundums obtained is 8. I've still got 5 of 8 that I can use.
I promise you prosperity.
I think. Still don't understand the numbers on these. Guarantee at the next general election the UK will be hated again by the EU. I don't think the EU hates the UK in any way, shape or form. I just think they don't quite understand why the UK is being so fucking stubborn about dumb shit that they clearly wrong on. I mean, I genuinely think, like, like I said, I don't particularly want to get in too deep into politics here, but like, there is nobody with an IQ above double digits that doesn't think that flipping Brexit was a monstrous mistake.
Magnificent contributions, my acolytes. Revel in this.
And I'm quite sure it isn't going to require the UK to like come crawling back and grovel, because there's just as many benefits to Europe. The UK being, you know, part of Europe properly. It's okay sometimes to admit you made a wrong decision and rectify said thing. Being stubborn and stupid about it is almost more idiotic than making the mistake in the first place. Oh, absolute lag fiesta. But yeah, like I said, I don't really want to get too deep into politics. Politics is stressful at the best of times. I'm already having to run dun shards. We don't need any more negative vibes in here. We're already doing maximum dun-duns. First time I saw a world quest that gave 1k gold and it wasn't a world boss. Yeah, I think people are probably getting enough gear these days, aren't they, to switch the world quests rewards to gold rather than gear. I think it's both rep quests and gear quests have a backup loot option of gold, but only once you surpass the need for the primary reward. I think so, it's something that I don't know the full ins and outs of exactly how it works, and it might be sort of like watermarked across your account or something. I don't know, but yeah, if you start getting a reasonable amount of gear and a reasonable amount of rep, you should start to see world quests giving gold. But I'm gonna level with you, boys and girls. Anybody spending any time farming world quests for gold right now is doing it wrong. You can get 100,000 gold an hour picking up rocks. Don't be farming world quests. Jesus.
I'll have new goods just for you, eh?
Absolutely zero reason to be messing around with world quests to be making gold right now. We'll probably have to take on the euro, bring it on, I say. I've lived with the euro for a long time. I'm going to be honest. Sterling lovers. Doesn't make a blind bit of difference. Everything's fucking expensive these days. I love the Michael McIntyre sketch about the UK versus the US. Oh, with the way that they use the English, like waste paper basket or bin. Yeah. Or, you know, pavement. Sidewalk. A lot more literal, yeah. Yeah, no inflation on Doge Cam, or just no Doges in the Doge Cam. We have, you don't need to watch me dun. We have Nips for snoring. And then you can probably only just see her in the background. But Amalams is back here. She's lurking by the door. it confuses me sometimes because most dogs quickly learn that if they go and if they go by the door, they use that as a human, I need to go out kind of thing. But she doesn't. She just, for some reason, likes sleeping over there. I don't know if there's a bit of a draft through the door or... I don't know. Classic dog. Comfy bed, lays on floor. Yeah. Yeah. Mrs. Manthis has a go at me all the time. This is a point of argument for us, because I'm permanently wanting to buy the dogs, like, nice, fancy, comfy beds. And then they are more than content sleeping on the floor. And I'm just like, yeah, but I don't want my dogs to sleep on the floor. This is partly the reason we ended up with 3 dogs. I'm a sucker.
There is so much waiting to be found.
The dog bowl looks like a cheesecake. I've never thought about that, but it does, doesn't it? Looks like one of those nice baked New York cheesecakes. Oh, that's going to be one of those things you don't unsee now. It also makes me want cheesecake. Oh, I'm going to have to message the wife and tell her she needs to make a cheesecake. She makes an incredible cheesecake. It's probably got about 72,000 calories per slice, but it's alright. Might die young, not die happy. You go enjoy the sunshine for a bit. Do it, do it. I'm probably going to end stream after not too long today, and I can't say the words because they're all snoring, but I'm sure you lot understand what I'm alluding to. 4-legged friends and traversing the outdoors. Cheesecake, pizza, and beer. Sounds right. It is Pizza Friday. There is a bit of a downside to that problem, though. Mrs. Manthias wasn't feeling too hot yesterday. And I could not be asked to cook anything. So we had Pizza Friday on a Thursday. So I'm going to have to come up with I'm going to have to come up with a better solution for dinner tonight. Cheesecake and beer. Maybe we just skip the pizza. Could be a play. Do the dogs understand English or Finnish? English, Finnish, or Swedish. Ultimately, dogs don't understand language, do they? They're just very acute to tone. If you use the same tone, no matter what you say. You know, if I, you know, you could say literally any word, but if you say it the way that you say walkies, then under normal circumstances, the dogs will go bananas. Say fish and chips, but wrong country. That so frustrates me, you know. Oh, we're talking about food now. We should get back to politics. Fucking hell. The fact that, you know, fish and chips is easily one of my favourite foods. Not just because I'm English, but the fact that Finland doesn't do fish and chips properly, like, blows my mind. They're like, I live with it. I can't see the sea, but I'm within 10 minutes from the sea. And the fact that there's not like a multitude of different places that do really good fish and chips blows my mind. There's always the restaurant that tries to do fish and chips, and then they'll do they'll do the fish in breadcrumbs and they'll shallow fry it. And I'm like, no, this is not fish and chips, you fucking morons. Where's the batter? Where's the deep fried? Give me some fat, chunky chips. Don't serve me fish and chips with French fries. No. Just no. Like, there's always places that try. I see fish and chips on a menu somewhere, and I'm like, yep, we'll give that a go, and then inevitably they fuck it up somehow. Trying to do something different with it. It's not broken, don't fix it. Batter that fish, deep fry it. Loads of S&V. Malt vinegar as well. Cheesecake is the human word for walkies. It'd get me moving. If there was somebody standing at the door saying, cheesecake, cheesecake, who wants a cheesecake? Then I think I'd get moving pretty quick.
Your deeds glorify me. You shall be benevolently rewarded.
Business opportunity for someone. It's funny you say that, actually. There is a guy that has set up like a mobile fish and chip stall. Eddie's, who goes to a lot of the summer markets and stuff. And I was chatting to him last summer after eating his fish and chips about 4 times in about 3 weeks. And he mentioned that it was going well enough that he's actually sacked in his day job and is giving it a go like full time this year. So there's a possibility that there will be slightly more fish and chips in my near future. And he even went as far as to like import proper malt vinegar for it and stuff as well. So it is a good business opportunity, one that somebody's already jumped on. So this streaming gig don't work out, you might see me selling fish and chips and cheesecake. Probably not the best combo, but I'm sure there's worse combos. I'll tell you what though, if this sun stays like this, it's time to get the barbecue out. It's nearly barbecue season, I can feel it. Shorts on, t-shirt on. Barbecue season out. One more dun-dun run. One more dun-dun. Wait. Wait, what? Oh, is it moved? I've got one more to do. Why'd you move it, game? Son of a... I was using that. Apparently I've got 400,000 gold worth of stuff in my bags. Where? I don't think I do. I'm not sure I believe it. Oh, there's if Woo's still lurking, is there a way to have the bag value exclude soulbound stuff? Because of course it doesn't matter if I can't sell it. I think that could probably be where... Haha, yeah, here we go. This thing randomly has region market value of nearly 400k, even though it's soulbound. Oh, it's not possible? Okay. Don't worry about it. Is this kind of cooked now? What's going... Did I... Okay, do I have to do... Okay, this one's still running. Is there any way to, like, just... end it early? Because apparently just running out doesn't cancel it. Burning out trying to keep up with abundance on 7 characters a week. What a terrible system. I mean, Yeah. I was gonna try and say something positive then, and I thought about it for a second, and I was just like, no. Yeah. I've never pressed this. What does it do? What was that even there for?
Alacrity! Your abundant limit nears!
That was just a practice run, luckily. That wasn't a shard run. Purple tones on my main 2 crafters, not bothering with accessories or the reagent crafters or even my other main crafters. It's kind of what it's. Yeah, the problem's going to be is that as wildly frustrating as it is to be running these dun-dun runs, it's one of those that once it's done, it's done. And I know right now it is super difficult to like find the enthusiasm to do it, especially when it's been buggy as all shit and you kind of, you know, have they changing the damn rules every 2 days. But I do kind of think that getting it done is one of those that it is done when it's done. Dun dun, yeah. Mostly because if you have any intention of doing any crafting for the rest of the expansion, you're gonna need those epic tools and accessories. If you think markets are crunching to like single digits now, you are basically signing yourself out from having any opportunity or any chance to do any sort of mass crafting for the entire expansion by not doing it. I agree, it's fucking horrible. It's really grim to have to do it. My only suggestion is just keep the number of characters you do it on, you know, limited. But there's no denying, in mass crafting markets, more stats and more stats. And we don't know what's coming in the next patches. That, you know, there could be something. I can't imagine exactly what they could or would do, but it's a bit of a chore and it's a bit of a grind now. Tools I should suggest everybody get regardless. The accessories, I can understand it being a little bit more grindy, but at least when you get into the territory of the accessories, it doesn't have to be your highest priority every week. If you don't do it for a week, it doesn't matter. Ultimately, the point is you just kind of need to do at least a few runs. Even as far as just doing the 2 free runs every week that you get, so that you don't have to worry about farming any of the actual shards in the first place. Or only doing as many runs as you get shards from your patron order bags or something. Min-maxing it on a shitload of characters until you're finished will just cook you. And I can understand why that's kind of like not necessarily a smart play. But even if you just chip away and do the bare minimums, I mean, fuck it. You can AFK it for 3 minutes while you go for a shit. Like, and you'll still get 300 points that you wouldn't get if you completely ignore it. But yeah, min-maxing it on a whole bunch of tunes is a recipe for disaster. Oh, I only got 600 from that one. Game's rigged. It said it gave me 900, but then it gave me 600 again. Nice to see that it's flawlessly working still. Not even joking, the new Mega Delve they announced that you can hop in and out interests me a lot. Yeah, what they call it, labyrinths or something. That could be quite cool. I'm definitely intrigued. If it's more, you know, if it ends up being sort of there's clearly a bit of a demand and there's a bit of a need for like Mage Tower style content. Delves, you know, a lot of people I think thought delves were going to tick that or scratch that itch for people who want that sort of like solo challenging content. There is a problem with delves though, that even tier 11s you very quickly get to the point where you just blast them. And so then it just becomes a chore. You do your delves, you like, you know, you do your 11 for your map or whatever. For the maximum rewards there, you know, it just becomes a carrot chasing adventure with delves. So like a mega delve, a labyrinth kind of style thing where they could genuinely have some wings of it be significantly more difficult, and difficult in a way that isn't necessarily overcome with just more gear. Difficult from a mechanics perspective, you know, more Mage Tower-esque possibly. And then if it is something that you can dip in and out of, and you have a, you know, you have a lockout to it, you can just work to it at your own pace and stuff. It could be good. Could be good. Could be interesting. Say that for sure. Right, done-duns are done on this dude. Is there anything I need to poke around with on the professions? We've checked Patreon orders on this dude, haven't we? Short of actually doing some prospecting. Not much to do. I probably need to restock some leatherworking gear. And then distribute it and sell it, get it sold over the weekend. But I might do this in a little while. I seem to have quite a sizable amount of leather from somewhere, somehow. Okay. Luckily, the price hasn't changed all that much since I last purchased it. That's good. Isn't one of these stupid expensive? No. Where's the one that's stupid expensive? What am I still missing? Forge Master's covers. Engineer gloves, an alchemy hat. I can craft all of these, I just craft them on another leatherworker of mine. But I'm only, what's that, 100 how much moxie have I got on this dude? Leatherworking, 205, enough to buy another recipe. Enough to get one of these 3. Yo, these at high quality are mad expensive because of the alloys. 1,500 gold a piece. Yeah, these are 15k just on the alloys. Isn't the world tender set like BIS for some classes or something? Is it the world tender? I was kind of shocked to see one of these sets actually pop off. I think it's the world tenders set. It might even be for BM hunters, you know. I don't even know. Go grab some of these recipes regardless. BIS for most male classes. I'm not quite at the point where I'm looking for a new adventure with leatherworking, but I have kind of nearly well, I mean, leatherworking has the advantage if you go the profession gear route, there's not many points in being good at the thing. It's more of a moxie restriction. So I've been putting my extra points into just optimizing crafting costs being in so much so that, you know, whatever we move into next with leatherworking, this is just kind of done. This is always gonna, this, you know, points in reducing your crafting cost, whatever you're crafting, will always be worthwhile. But once this node is full, I don't care about stacking more ingenuity. That can sod off. Zero value in putting any more points in here. But once this node is full, my leatherworker will be looking for a new adventure. And being a hunter, and being a hunter main, I could move into this sort of area maybe. That, or I don't want to get into these markets. Huge amounts of time, effort for penny payouts. I don't know. I'll consider what's going on. I think, boys and girls, I'm actually going to leave it there for today. We had a bit of an F earlier, which was a bit of a frustration because it means it's cut the stream like into two. It'll cut the VOD into two as well, which is kind of annoying, but I can't help that, unfortunately. Petition to get Mandy to sing the UK Eurovision song if Finland win. Oh, God. You're going to have to get a lot of signatures on that one. But yeah, boys and girls, I think I might leave it there for today. I don't have huge plans for the weekend, so don't be, you know, there's a good 50-50. I know I say this most Fridays, but there's a good 50-50 there'll be a bonus stream at some point over the weekend. If I get, you know, a chunk of time to sit down and just play the game, there's almost no reason for me to not throw the stream up as well. Can we get an uninformed commentary on the Echo raid? Don't matter, limits one, aren't they? I don't know. No. I'll probably be able to tell you what all their professions are and why they're not doing their professions right. But you know, when it comes to slaying dragons, that's not my thing. But yeah, boys and girls, thank you for stopping by. Come say hi in the Discord if you're not there already. We will continue our little adventure onwards towards the billion. We've done the million. We've done a few of the millions. Let's work towards the billion. Maybe, possibly, we'll see. But yeah, have a good weekend. I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.